Hi guys, welcome back to FHQ. My name is Rogan. Today we're going to be talking about carbohydrates. Okay, so in regards to carbohydrates, first question, how much should you be eating? That's going to vary depending on your sport, the individual, and there are so many things that are going to come into play here. But ultimately, what I want you to take away from this is that there is no such thing as too much carbohydrate, but there is definitely such a thing as too little. Ultimately, your body does need carbs in order to function. Your muscles run on glucose, your brain runs on glucose, your nervous system runs on glucose, and it's so important to make sure that you get your carbs in. There is no research to prove that carbs are bad for you, and this whole demonization of carbs within the fitness industry doesn't really make any sense, because ultimately all you're doing is manipulating calories by cutting out carbohydrates. It really comes down to that. So in regards to how many grams of carbs you should be eating, unless you are training for a very specific goal, such as a bodybuilding show, Ironman, or anything like that, all I would say is just focus on eating an amount that makes you feel good and works in relation to your total calorie balance. So if you've got your protein in check, okay, you know how much you're meant to be eating and you're hitting that daily. Fats and carbohydrate can kind of fluctuate so long as it's within the overall structure of the total calories, and that's super important. So just if you can take away one thing from this, it's that carbohydrate is super important, but generally only in relation to total calorie balance. So if you're in a massive surplus, okay, you go massively over on a carbohydrate, then you're going to be retaining more water, you could potentially build more body fat, but then again, everyone is different, so there is no one-size-fits-all policy. And that's what makes nutrition so exciting, because it is as much of an art as it is a science. Okay, so second point, do you need to be cycling carbs into your diet? So what I mean by that is, should you be eating more on a training day, less on a rest day? Once again, I would say it all comes down to the individual and what your specific goals are, but I make sure that in terms of what my clients are eating, okay, I do personally like the carb cycling protocol. I do like making sure that they eat more carbohydrate on a training day and less carbohydrate on a non-training day, simply for the fact that I want to make sure we can maximize recovery. So, third point, okay, how do you structure carbohydrate within the context of the day? There are some people saying you should have them at breakfast, some people should say you should have them only in the night time. Backloading, front loading, everyone's got their own opinion on it. So I'm just going to give you the long and short of what I do with my clients and what I found works best. Basically, I say to them, what you want to do is structure 70% of your carbs around your workout. So what that means is 2 hours before the workout, during the workout, and up to 2 hours after the workout, okay? That is essentially your carbohydrate window, and I want to make sure you get the majority of your carbs around the workout, because everyone does have a slightly different carb tolerance, and what we're trying to make sure is that we are maximizing uptake of carbohydrates in relation to the demands of that specific day. So on a non-training day, I kind of just play it hard and loose and just say, you know, if you want to have carbs at more of your carbs at breakfast than you do at the rest of the day, that's fine, just focus on total calorie balance, because ultimately that is key. From there, I would say to them, in terms of your training day, okay, make sure that we are getting more carbohydrates and we're keeping them within that overall structure. Okay, so 2 hours leading up to the workout, intra-workout, if that's something you're into, okay, some people do like having Gatorade or sports drinks or whatever during the workout, that's fine. And then up to 2 hours afterwards, you've got that window to try and get your carbohydrate in. This whole thing of you've got a very limited anabolic window to get your carbohydrate in, it's kind of fundamental bro science. Yes, the closer you can get to your workout, the more optimal it's going to be, but ultimately we need to take life as it is, not just as we like it to be. So if you can't get your carbs in the minute you've finished your workout, don't stress too much about it, just try and get it within that window. So these are my 3 top tips about carbs. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you are interested in any more dietary or nutritional information, please do feel free to contact Fitness HQ via the link above. Right, this is Rogan. These are the squat rack sessions. Now go eat some carbs.